But like I was saying, though, this was released in time for the 20th anniversary. It was reissued, if you will, along with the bonus tracks that I mentioned. Unicron's Melody, Moonbase 2, Shuttle Attack, Megatron Must Be Stopped Parts 1 and 2, and the Transformers theme alternate version by Stan Bush. Just perfect companion piece with the release of the 20th anniversary as well. Very good companion piece. Like I said, I got this on a midnight release thanks at Walmart. Actually, it was my first week or so, and I got this on a midnight release. The manager brought the box out with the movies, so there you go. It's really nice. And I added these in addition to what I showed you in part 1 to this as well, and the VHS. But that wasn't all, ladies and gentlemen. No. You see, when the movie came out, when they re-released the 20th anniversary of the movie, IDW did something as well, and I'll get into that in a second. IDW did something in conjunction with that. But before they did anything, when this movie was originally first released in 1986, Marvel actually did something. And it wasn't as many issues as it was actually not as many issues, actually an issue less than what IDW did. Because instead, what Marvel did in 3 issues was do a 3-issue set adaptation of Transformers the movie. 3 issues. 3 individual issues of Transformers the movie in comic book form. And they named them every issue. This one was called The Planet Eater. And this was at a time when laser tag was popular and it was becoming a show on NBC on Saturday mornings. And when Bonkers was a candy everybody liked. And you see, you could definitely tell. It was back then at that time. And how do you know? Here's your advertisements for NBC Saturday mornings. Yeah. Shows you how old these comics are. The only thing they didn't do was put the hot rod being held hostage situation in there. But this is a comic book adaptation, you gotta remember. And they added the own little thing in there with Optimus saying, "Follow him, Autobots, follow him." So Yeah, they kind of, it's an adaptation of it, so there's some things that have changed. They named the issues, like the next one, which is issue 2, is called Judgment Day, and so on, so really, really interesting. Its own little, I mean, basically it's an adaptation, but they name it, they give it their own individual chapter names and stuff, so I thought that was pretty cool. I picked this up. Actually, I ordered these from mildhighcomics.com. Pretty cool. And in this, I actually ordered at one of the comic book shops in Lawrence, Kansas. I think they had these on sale or something. I can't really remember. But these were the 4-issue releases of IDW's comic book adaptation of Transformers the movie. And I can tell you this, IDW. I'm not trying to diss Marvel or anything, but they did a heck of a better job at this adaptation than Marvel did. I mean, adapting the movie. I mean, Marvel, they did a decent job for that time, but IDW blew them away. But just like with Marvel, they do entitle every issue. Like this one is Part 1, The Gathering Storm. And again, very nice details. So they follow the movie almost exactly like what you watch and everything. And it's like they take scenes right from the movie. There's nothing you can't explain about that. Nothing. I mean, just really, really cool. And they do, like Marvel, they do kind of add their own little things. Like it's Prowl here that says Megatron instead of Brawn. And they do add some other details, like Hot Rod says he better take a closer look when Daniel says there's a hole in the show. I mean, they really do a better job, but just like, like the Marvel one, they do add their own little spins and stuff. I like how they do the transformation parts, though. It's really a great detail. Really cool. Fight sequence with Megatron and Optimus just done completely well. I mean, again, like I said, nothing against what Marvel did, but they do it so much better. I hate to say that. And then they give you a little bit of a spotlight deal, as well as extra stories and all that. And they give you an advertisement for Transformers Infiltration or something like that. So it's really cool, each of these issues. And then of course here's the new one. This one is called To Death and Beyond. To the Death and Beyond. And again, they really do a great detail, just really taking adaptions straight from the movie. I mean, is a tremendous job. I mean, they take the transformation of Megatron to Galvatron. They do that very well, almost directly out of the movie. Same with the other Decepticons. I mean, again, if you want a great adaptation of the movie, get the IDW releases. I mean, because they do add in a few other things like, okay, Rumble asked, what Galvatron's name was, and he said it's Galvatron. But instead they have in here, Starscream going like, Megatron, is that you? And he's like, here's a hint. And he says now his name is Galvatron. So they do add in a few nuances here and there. But do a great, great job adapting the movie straight from a T. I mean, again, like I said, if you want a better adaptation, you gotta go with this one. You got it. I mean, there's nothing more you can ask for when it comes to an adaptation. They even show you when the movie came out. 11/7/06. Well, I guess it was not a few weeks, it was a few months. Correct me for my previous video. It's actually a few months after I worked that I was able to get that. Correct me. Whew. And then, of course, we got issue 3, and this one is titled Terror on Two Worlds. And again, it's like they just do a great job adapting the movie, almost scene by scene. I mean, just a great adaptation. There's nothing more that you can ask for when it comes to a comic book adaptation of any movie. And then again, on the back, it shows you the release of the 20th anniversary DVD was November 7th, 2006. And again, like I say, correct me for my previous videos, if you will. And then this one is entitled, if I can find the title, Matrix Quest. And it even has a little sneak peek for a Star Trek comic in there too. I mean, again, you can't ask for a better adaptation. So, overall, when it comes to Transformers the movie, I have to agree that as far as I go, when it comes to transfer quality and all that, Sean, this version is the best. There's no doubt about it. I'm not going to lie. This version right here is the best. This version, the widescreen and the full screen, in my opinion, are better than what you get with this. But this is a good alternative if you need it, as well as this. It's kind of like I said, with the comic book adaptations of the movie. Good for their time, but better adaptation, but better quality right here. So, again, it just shows you the scope of how good things can be. Excuse me. And again, just like with the soundtracks, better overall presentation than the original, even though the original is a good alternative. So overall, though, as far as Transformers the movie goes, I mean, you've got 3 copies, I've got 3 copies, one being the VHS version of the Rhino release, and the DVD Rhino release, and then the Sony one. But when it comes to other versions of Transformers the movie release, comics, Marvel version, IDW version, soundtracks, the poster, I don't think I could ask for anything else. I don't think any other fan could ask for anything else either. So, but this is just a response to you, Sean, in 2 parts, and I hope you enjoyed it. Hope everybody else enjoyed it. Continue doing what you're doing, Sean. You're doing a great job, and hope to see more parts later on down the line. And hopefully you can respond to this video if you can in your own video. And that's all I'm going to say, and peace out. Comments are welcome.